This video is a bit different than the normal videos I post on this channel, and in this video I'll tell you guys exactly why 99% of faceless YouTube channels fail, and I actually picked a bad thumbnail on purpose because now I know that most of the people that are not even serious about this business model or about actually succeeding with YouTube, they won't even click on this video. Right? So if you clicked on this video, I think you're quite serious. So make sure to watch this whole video until the end because I'm literally sitting here filming this video exactly for you. So now I'm just going to give you guys a few reasons, like the main reasons that I see. So the first thing is very, very simple, that YouTube is a numbers game. Everything you do in business is literally a numbers game. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. Right? This sounds very, very simple, and much of the advice I'm going to give to you guys in this specific video is going to sound very, simple or basic, but you have to understand that these are the foundations. And if you don't have these specific things on point, you're never going to succeed with YouTube or any business. You need to focus on the basics, right? So you always have to keep in mind that whatever you do, everything is a numbers game. You can't just go to the gym once and expect to, have a great physique. The same is with YouTube. The more you're going to do, the higher the chances are going to be that you are going to get successful with YouTube, right? I always, tell myself that, let me just do so much that it is impossible for me to fail, right? So, and then we obviously just, do as much as possible. And that's why I say it's a numbers game. If you test one single channel, the chance of you actually succeeding with it aren't that high, especially if you're just starting out. But if you test 10 different channels, your chance of succeeding with YouTube is way higher, right? So you always have to keep this in mind. Everything you do is a numbers game. The more you do, the better you get, and the faster you fail and the faster you succeed. Very, very simple. So the next thing that, on my list is YouTube, like consistency alone isn't going to bring you to the next step. So we had, for example, a student who we've been working with for around about 1.5 years now. He's made $200,000 this year from YouTube alone in only ad revenue. And before we started working together, he was posting for 1.5 years on his faceless YouTube channel because he had a coach that told him like, hey man, if you just consistently post good videos, you're going to succeed with YouTube. But that could not be further from the truth. Consistency alone is not going to make you money on YouTube. There's a big difference between, consistently posting on YouTube and consistently testing on YouTube. And this is what you want to do. You want to consistently test new niches. That's how you're going to succeed. Not by, consistently posting videos into the travel niche. That's not going to, up the chance of you actually succeeding. Yes, you want to be consistent on YouTube, but you need to be consistent into the right direction. And to get into the right direction, you first have to test into multiple different directions. You have to be consistent in testing into multiple different directions, right? So consistency alone won't get you very far on YouTube, but if you switch it a little bit and consistently test into multiple different directions, that's where you're actually going to make a lot of money with YouTube. And this is super, super important because I always, see so many people, how must I say, like posting for years and years. I've seen just one channel today that had over 150 videos posted and that channel isn't even monetized. Right? Usually if a niche is good and you test into so many different directions, you will see very quickly like, hey, this works or this doesn't work, especially with the new YouTube algorithm where YouTube pushes your videos out way quicker. It works way more like the TikTok and Instagram algorithm. So it's not dependent on subscribers anymore. Actually quite for a while now already. And that's why you see so many small channels getting pushed out. So if your niche is good and you consistently test into a bunch of different directions, trust me, you will succeed. And I have like multiple videos on this channel, which you can just have a look at and you will see like, hey, like this is how a good niche looks like. Just yesterday, I posted a video where I showed you guys how easy it is to actually find new niches. So finding niches isn't the problem anymore. It's about consistently testing into different directions. That's the biggest problem for most people. And not just testing one channel a month or every 2 months. you want to consistently be testing one channel a week, right? I have videos on this channel that explain exactly how to test a niche, how to test a niche cheaply so you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on testing a niche, right? Usually we test a niche and we can see if a niche is good or not within 5 to 15 videos. So as I said, consistency alone isn't going to bring you very far on YouTube, but you have to be consistently testing. All right. So the next thing that I really see with a lot of people is that they reinvent the wheel. Why would you want to reinvent the wheel? Why don't you just take something that has already worked, that already has proof of concept, and take that and create your own version of it? I see so many people that, come to me and say like, hey, I think this specific niche is going to be good, but there's no data, there's nothing. Right? They have no proof of concept. And that's going to always be very, very difficult to succeed. If you see one specific niche or one specific format is doing very well, why don't you just take that specific format or that specific style of video or even that specific niche and take it and recreate those videos? And you don't forever have to recreate those videos. Later on, you can also come up with your own ideas, which I would highly recommend you to do. But in the beginning, literally just do what's working. That's one of the biggest things. Many people, like, they will find, for example, a niche. They will go into the niche, right? But now they just think like, hey, I think this specific thumbnail style would work better for the videos, but there's no proof of concept, right? So you always just want to, let's say, for example, you find a niche, you go ahead into that niche and no joke, do not reinvent the wheel. You just do it as close as possible to the competitor channel because that has already worked. So it will, in most cases, if the niche is good, work for you too. So please never ever reinvent the wheel. This is one of the biggest mistakes I've been seeing on YouTube for most people. Now, the next thing, right? This is the thing that, is the reason why almost everyone fails on YouTube, that tries YouTube. And that is skipping step one. Now, what is step one? Step one is actually going ahead and doing research. Not just like fast niche research, but really digging into the niche and understanding why it succeeds or why it wins. Trying to find like concepts that really work in the niche, trying to understand what the audience wants. This is something that 99% of people don't do. Right? And then they wonder why their channels don't succeed. This is something you have to do. All right. I always say, like, rather spend these 3, 4, 5 hours doing really, really deep market research, finding all of the competitors, seeing if there are any patterns in their most viral videos, analyzing the comments, see what do the viewers like, what do they don't like. These days we have tools like ElevenLabs, which makes that specific thing very, very easy for us. We can easily analyze channels, right? If you don't do that and you don't do the niche research correctly, or like if you don't take your time to do the niche research and the market research, the chances are very high that you're going to waste money and you're going to fail. And then you have to go back to step one anyway. So just do it right from the start on. And trust me, you will thank me later. Like, rather spend that week on doing niche research, market research, all of these things, than going back to it after a month of posting to YouTube. Okay. And I'm not just saying this, but I've seen it so many times. Just as an example, for the war niche that's absolutely blowing up right now. Like, everyone is doing it. What makes your channel different? Why should you succeed? Like, you're just being lazy and you don't really want to dig into the niche research. And that's why you will post 500 videos and your channel will still not take off, right? Yes, the niche is absolutely good. And yes, there are still gaps in the market. But if you like it, you have to do the market research and look for gaps in the market. All right. I always say, like, you can't build a house without a plan. And you always need to think about starting a YouTube channel like building a house. You first need to, get that plan to then be able to actually build the house. All right. So these are just some of the reasons why most people fail on YouTube. Now, just very quickly, if you're interested in working close with me, just check out the first link in the video description. Let me know if you like these styles of videos and I'll do more of it. This is the first time I'm just testing new and different concepts to see what do you guys like, what do you don't like. So let me know in the comments. Let me know if this video helped, but really make sure to take these things super, super seriously, because the people that don't, they will never succeed on YouTube. Trust me, these are all super, super important things. And I only started seeing success once I started, really, really focusing on these 4 things, some of the most important things. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. And yes.